remember this one. Okay, so I made my way from Florida to Austin, Texas, and just hitchhiking. And there I spent about 2 weeks enjoying the South by Southwest Festival. I hitched into Austin with someone, some awesome down-to-earth guy. So there's 4 of us traveling in this big blue Dodge 95 van from Austin, Texas to California. We get about 20 miles outside of Santa Rosa, New Mexico, and we hear this loud pop, like a huge, like, giant pop. And our car just dies, and we pull over on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. All we see is hills and cows. And we have to stay the night there. We can't get any assistance. And so we pass out in the van, and the next morning we realize we have to hitch back into Santa Rosa to get this part. So we're hitching back into town, and a cop going the other way flips a U-turn and pulls up next to us, and we're all just thinking we're going to get busted for hitchhiking on the side of the freeway. But he rolls his window down, has the biggest smile on his face, and he asks us, like, you kids look like you need a ride. Can I help you out? And so we get all excited, and he bumps us all into the van. We all squeeze, or into his squad car. We squeeze in, and he starts talking about how he's been practicing Buddhism for 10 years, extremely down-to-earth guy that we can all relate to. We're all making jokes. At one point, he says, how about we get there a little quicker, and flips on his siren and starts speeding down the highway super fast. Awesome guy, and he drops us off at the auto parts store, and we rummage around for a while. He tells us if we need a ride back to our van, call the police department, and they'll hook us up. We were all excited, like, this is awesome, things are going great. We get to the junkyard, we're looking for a part, we find the part, and the guy says we need like $50 or something, and so we're like, all right, we got to come up with some cash, man, and we split up and went to 2 different gas stations, and we made about $75 actually. It was really cool. Amazing people, even the cops stopped and they gave us some money to help us out, and some people gave us some food. It was really great. And we're walking back to go to the auto parts store, and we see a Denny's, and we are extremely hungry. So we go in there, and we ask them, is there any way you can help 4 people looking for some food? And the manager comes out, extremely awesome. He sits us down, gives us bacon, eggs, hash browns, and toast for free, and water. And we grub down, and as we're leaving, this guy pulls up in this cowboy hat. Really eccentric dude, and he's just asking us where we're from, what we're doing. He's really excited to see new faces in town, and he offers us a place to stay if we don't get out of town. He gives us his phone number, and we're all a little bit like skeptical. He was really excited, and and so we go back and we get the part, and we call the cops to get a ride again, and they gave us a bunch of shit, like telling us they don't know who we talked to or what we're talking about. There's no way they can just have a cop come out there and give us a ride. So we end up calling this guy in the cowboy hat and asking him for a ride out to our car, which he totally comes through. He pulls up, and he just keeps trying to convince us to come party with him. He opens the trunk to put our stuff in the back, and he's got like 2 30 racks of beer in the back and a bottle of vodka. And it's just like, come on, just come party. And we're like, no, man, we really need to go to our car. We just want to get the hell out of this town. And so he's like, all right, I'll do it for you. And so he drives us back there, and we put the part in, and it doesn't work. It's apparently the wrong part. Something went wrong, and it wasn't what we needed. And so we end up going back with this dude in the cowboy hat. His name was Dave, actually. As we're driving there, we just gather more and more that he is not all there in the head. He is a little bit insane, really eccentric. You see all this? You see everything around you? I count that. You see that? I count cows. And, he was just insane, like, because there are no people in the town. He said he counted cows because he worked for the Census Bureau. And we're like, all right, dude. And then this radio commercial comes on. We're driving down the road, and the radio, he just turns the radio up really loud. He's all, shh, listen. And you just all of a sudden hear this voice go, in Santa Rosa, New Mexico. And as the radio says it, Dave in the car says it out loud in the exact same voice. And we're like, what? And he just explains that he had done the radio personality voice for that commercial, and he was all excited. And it's like, what is happening? Like, this is too bizarre. And so we ended up, like, whatever. He says he knows everyone in town, and he's just the most friendly guy. he can call the police department for us and they won't tow our car off the side of the road, which he does, and it's pretty cool actually. Keeps our car on the side of the road for the night, and we stay at his place, and he gets us just drunk off these, like, beers and this vodka. Like, he starts going off about his past love relationships with this girl in this Indian tribe and, you know, whatever. We're having a good time, and then the next morning comes, and he said he would drive us around to different auto parts stores to look for the part we need, and we're doing so. And as we get to one of them, we tell them we need a spark plug distributor cap. Which is what we're looking for. And we go to one auto shop and ask them that, and they're asking for what car, and we told them it was this 95 Dodge van. And then they asked us, well, what color is it? And we told them it was blue, and they said, you know what, I think we just towed that this morning. And all of us just saying, like, oh, man, we don't have the money to cover a tow cost. Like, they're going to impound our car. There's no way we're going to get it back. And sure enough, it was our van, and they were asking for $250 to take care of the towing alone, let alone another like 30 or something for this cap. And we talked to them for a little while, and we tell them to our name we have 20. I think we said we had $22.50. I'm pretty sure is what we had. And the guy, through the bottom of his heart, awesomeness, he tells us, you know what? If you can put the part in yourself, I'll give you the part for $20 even, and we won't worry about the towing charge. We do that, and it's great. We get the part. It's working. We didn't even have to get back out to the car. It was amazing. But for a minute, you know, we just thought we were going to be stuck in this town, and we talked to, going through different auto parts store and the day before, just talking to people, even a guy at Denny's. We talked to about 4 people and asking them, why or how did they end up living in Santa Rosa? Like, what brought them to this town? And they literally told us, well, my car broke down right outside of town, and so I came into town to get a job in order to pay for parts to get my car fixed up. And you know what? I just ended up staying. And so we ended up, like, it gave us just more motivation to make sure this was happening. And sure enough, these guys gave us this part, and we got down the road. Actually, I was driving at this point. We left town, and I was driving. We got about 25 miles out of town. We had just passed where we broke down, and there was a big, steep hill going downhill. And because we were really low on gas and really broke, we would put it into neutral to coast down the hill. I accidentally put it into reverse. The car just, like, totally stalled out, went to the side of the road, and we were freaking out. Everyone was yelling at me, pissed off, and we rolled up this hill off the side of the road, and 5 minutes later, I try it again. The car starts, luckily, and we get the hell out of there. But it was just a weird experience, this weird little, like, magnetism, this gravitational pull to this town, and this guy just being so enthusiastic with picking us up. It was really a fun experience, to be honest, but it was frightening, too.